Hi, welcome to Hyperion Hype Club. My name is McKenna and I love the Kingdom Keepers books by Ridley Pearson. Join me as we discuss this series and others published by Disney-Hyperion Books. Let's get into it. Hi, you guys. Welcome to episode 5 when we are talking about Kingdom Keepers Disney After Dark. Okay, so at the end of the last episode, I said that after I finish this book, I'll probably read the third Percy Jackson book, because like if you're watching the video, you can see that like I'm somewhere new. I'm at my parents' house. And you can see reflections right here. But I said I'll pick up the third Percy Jackson book while I'm here and then read it after I'm done reading Disney After Dark. But I'm already like 75% of the way through it. And I got here like 2 nights ago, and I'll definitely finish the book today. And then I'll bring home the 4th book. Yeah, obviously I'm enjoying that book so far. But I think I still enjoy Kingdom Keepers more. Yeah, let's just hop into it. So the highlights reel for chapters 24 through 29. We've got Finn woke up during park open as a like semi DHI, the normal crossing over thing. And we finally see what I mentioned wondering about in the last episode, which was like waking up when the park was open, like how kids would react and stuff. And obviously people noticed and it was weird. But he kind of just like skirted away from them. And I don't know why. What the heck? All of a sudden there are like flies going around. Okay, hopefully they leave. Anyway, promise I don't smell bad. Promise. I showered like 2 hours ago. And then the Overtakers possibly have Maybeck, who they still have kidnapped at this point, messing with the DHI server, or they are themselves. And then, so Maybeck was trapped in Space Mountain, which I figured was a good place to look because it's dark, it's loud, and there's a potential DHI shadow. And then we learned that Jez helped the Overtakers trap Maybeck. And after that, they start going for the final 2 attractions in their, was it Sun, Clouds, Wind, Stone? So they go for the Wind, which was the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which is not an original attraction to that park. So like, how would Walt have known that kind of stuff? But it was my original guess for the Wind, but even I was like, but it's not original attraction. But there they find the letter S. And Willa and Charlene nearly drowned because they were doing it in their like regular human form. And yeah, they really went in the scene, they almost drowned. Chaotic. Okay, so Finn told his mom what was going on in between the 2 attractions. Finn told his mom what was going on, and she didn't quite believe him, which is unfortunate. And then Finn and Philby go for the stone attraction, which they use as Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And my original guess was the Sword in the Stone, because I figured that would be there since park open. And Big Thunder Mountain Railroad didn't open until 1980, so definitely not original to that park. Didn't even open in Disneyland until 1979. But there, the T-Rex fossil came to life. They found the other 3 letters, T, P, and N. So that gives us, for all the letters, T, P, N, S, F, M, E, Y, I, R. So my original guess that there would be something Mickey. Not true. There are only 2 vowels and a Y, so like 2, 3-ish vowels, which the Y does end up acting like a vowel. And they figured out it was my first pen is the clue. So they figure One Man's Dream, where it's kind of like a little museum inside, well, at this point, MGM Studios. So they figured to look on multiple desks for what might have been Walt's first pen. Also, there was something about Wayne potentially not having created them. So we should probably keep our eye out for that. That was interesting to me. Okay. And then in One Man's Dream, they go for the desk in Walt's original office display with many pen options. And when Finn is leaving, once security is approaching, and he has what might have been like a Maleficent encounter, he's not quite sure. He runs into Amanda and he thinks like Amanda snitched on him since she came to Hollywood Studios with the Keepers. So Finn's like not trusting Amanda at this point. And then they go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. Amanda and Charlene faint, and you just get the overall vibe throughout all of chapter 29 that Jez is definitely a sketchy character. And she might have been the one who froze Finn behind One Man's Dream. Or like in the back security cast member hallway of One Man's Dream. So we end this section on another cliffhanger, which I love that it's ending. This is ending on a cliffhanger for me because I know some of you guys might just read through. But for those of you who are stopping when I stop, then for us it's ending on a cliffhanger, which I love that there are lots of cliffhangers in these books. It's what made me read through them so fast, and like the Hunger Games series too. So there are two iconic things I want to give shout outs to. One of them is Cosmic Rays, even though I don't really eat there, because I'm not a fan of like plant-based burgers, so that's all they really ever seem to have for plant-based people. And I'm not a fan of like Disney quick service fries either. They're just too skinny for me. Yeah, shout out to Cosmic Rays, and I have a question for you guys. Do you think the Overtakers would ever use the Sunny Eclipse animatronic to do some work for them? You think he's too good to do it? Or do you think he would? I don't really know. I don't really know if they find him worthwhile because he's kind of on the shorter side. I mean, like when he's sitting at his keyboard, his feet don't like touch the floor or anything. So what could he do besides distract people with music? I don't know. Okay, and then the other iconic thing is the MGM Sorcerer's hat. I feel like I grew up with that hat being there. It was there for quite a few years to celebrate something. I probably should have looked that up, but whatever. And when it got taken away, it was so sad. It was the icon of the park. Like now it's like Tower of Terror, but the park's merch used to be like the Castle, the Tree of Life, Spaceship Earth, and the Sorcerer's Hat. So don't know why they did that. They knew it wasn't a permanent fixture. But oh well. And you'll see that pop up in other books from this series too. Okay. Random remarks. I have a lot of remarks this time. Okay. So Philby said at one point, Wayne said Maybeck's our computer guy. But in the sequels, you'll see, I mean, we're almost there, but you'll see that Philby is the computer guy. So reading this back, I was like, wait, what? That doesn't, okay. Doesn't compute. No pun intended. So they said like maintenance would climb up. Sorry if you can hear that motorcycle. Anyway, so there's like a maintenance ladder, at least according to the book. I'm sure in real life too. Maintenance ladder going up the dome of Space Mountain on the outside. And at first thought I was like, oh, that must not be OSHA approved. But then again, I've seen OSHA approved ladders that are like straight up and down. So I'm like, okay, that's probably better. And they would obviously have the lights on inside Space Mountain to do maintenance work. But I also was like, this is something I definitely would not have thought about as a kid. So whatever. At the end of chapter 26, I like how they acknowledge that cast members must be seeing all this unusual stuff that's going on. Implying that they're wondering what CMs who see this kind of stuff think. Like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that maybe the second episode with the Buzz Lightyear cars, or was that? That wasn't Bookers. That must have been the second. But yeah, with the Buzz Lightyear cars, I commented on that. So I like that they're like acknowledging it in the book too. Okay, at the transportation and ticket center, when Amanda offered to help, Charlene snapped and snarled. Which do you guys think that was from jealousy, lack of trust, or both? I'm kind of leaning towards just her being jealous, because she still seemed like down, cool with letting Amanda help them at MGM. When we get to chapter 29 and we're at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Finn was like, if any night's the time for Maleficent to make her move, it's tonight during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. But there are multiple party nights where Maleficent and the OTs could try to overtake. It doesn't just have to be this one party. The Overtakers could, however, use the parties leading up to Halloween to plan stuff and then have their big like finale on Halloween, and guests may just think it's like an extra touch that Disney did since it is Halloween night. Also, Finn wore a cape to a Halloween party. Has he not seen The Incredibles yet? Edna Mode made it very clear that capes and fighting evil do not go well together. Okay. And then there was one quote from the book that I just pulled out. Despite its name, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party offered plenty of frights to its guests. Are you serious? Like, no. Maybe like ghoulish delight, but no actual frights, unless you have like a fear of spiders or snakes or ghosts or something, or even like the cartoony versions of those freak you out. Like, I know for my little sister, even like cartoon spiders freak her out. My mom, cartoon snakes still freak her out. So maybe that, but it's not actually really scary for like anyone. I went maybe in 2002, I want to say, to Mickey's Not So Scary, which is 5 years before this book. And I went in 2022 and I went in 2019. And yeah, it's all very kid friendly. There aren't any actual frights for the guests. Unless you ride Space Mountain and you're afraid of the dark, because they try to make it pitch black in there. Although when I rode that during the Halloween party, the people mover was down and those lights were on. So it wasn't pitch black for me. But you just close your eyes and you get the same effect. Okay, and then on page 262, I don't know why I said the page number. I put it for myself, but whatever. So I just want to note that I love Dillard's resourcefulness for his costume by reusing grocery bags. A little crab costume. I like that. I like that he went for it. Also, Dillard said he came for the candy, which is very much relatable. If you ask anyone, and a lot of people will probably say they come for the candy, because you get mounds and mounds of it, especially these days. I don't remember what it was like when I was like 4, but you get a lot of candy, a lot. And especially if you are plant-based or if you have an allergen that makes it hard for you to find Halloween candy, then Disney can accommodate you with a bunch of different ones that you probably wouldn't buy for yourself, because they're probably on the pricier side, and you can still get a lot of it. It still lasted me quite a while. And it's like you're paying the same price as everyone else, but you're getting more expensive candy. And like the one candy I can have from the regular booths are like Skittles. And they will load me up on Skittles. So I'll still have just as full of a bag as everyone else, which is nice. And then I just have like one set of questions going back to the whole transportation and ticket center thing. I just have to address this. So they're at I'm just going to say TTC instead of Ticket and Transportation Center. They're at the TTC and they need to get to One Man's Dream in MGM Studios, which closes in 15 minutes in the book. Bro. 15 minutes? So it takes 11 minutes to get from the TTC to Hollywood Studios driving. But if you're going by bus, like that's not even the bus route. So I don't know if the bus might be longer. Like I feel like a lot of the bus route times at Disney are like 15 minutes. And also they need to factor in time waiting for the bus, loading time for the bus, going through security at MGM and walking all the way back to One Man Stream. And honestly, they never make it, so I'm really surprised that they do. And then they're like talking at the TTC, just sitting around talking instead of talking while at least trying to get to MGM. But yeah. Also, why meet at the TTC instead of just meeting at MGM? Like, are they taking like if their parents are dropping them off, they can be dropped off there. Or maybe at that point, like city buses only drop you off at the TTC. I don't really know. But they should have probably planned. Well, no, they met that late because Charlene had cheerleading practice. So they couldn't really have met earlier unless they wanted to leave Charlene out, but it seems like they really needed all the different people, although what did Charlene do? She was like the runner in case there was trouble. So yeah. They couldn't really have done it without her. Yeah. Why not just meet at MGM? But still. They would never have made it, and they made it with plenty of time to spare, which was like a little annoying. But anyway, that's just all I had today. So got one more section left, chapter 30 through 34, aka the end of the book. But yeah, I'm excited to get into the last section of Kingdom Keepers, Disney After Dark, and then taking a little break and coming back strong, hopefully, with Kingdom Keepers 2. I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, and follow. Also, please chat with me and other members of this club in the comments of the YouTube video. My other social media information and a link to the Long Distance Sisters podcast I am also part of will be below. Back in a whack.